Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. In this video, we're going to discuss prenuptial agreements. I'm going to specifically discuss this with respect to prenuptial agreements in a Thai-American context. I'm an American attorney. I'm licensed in the U.S. We have Thai attorneys, on staff with us here at the firm. They are going to be dealing with Thai legal matters. Their focus, in fact, quite exclusively is Thai legal matters. I deal with American legal matters such as taxation, immigration, the U.S.-Thai Treaty of Amity, and very similar to the U.S.-Thai Treaty of Amity is the issue of prenuptial agreements here in Thailand, because it's one of these issues where it's really a good idea to have a professional from both sides of the line, or both sides of the tracks, if you will, with respect to the legalities of the underlying agreement. What are we talking about here? Well, we're talking about you need a Thai attorney to be able to make sure everything falls into line with Thai law. You need an American attorney to be able to review and draft everything so it falls into line with U.S. law. This is especially important when the marriage is registered in Thailand. It is also important when the marriage is registered in the United States. There's another video on this channel that gets into the specifics of marriage registration and prenuptial agreements. But suffice it to say, for purposes of this video, we're just simply discussing sort of the broad strokes of prenuptial agreements. Prenuptial agreements are somewhat misunderstood, frankly, in a lot of ways. There's been a lot that's been placed in the sort of public eye, if you will, through the media about prenuptial agreements. I can think of a couple of movies off the top of my head that get prenuptial agreements wildly incorrect. Suffice it to say, state to state in the United States, each jurisdiction has varying laws with respect to their family law jurisprudence, and therefore there are going to be variations state to state with respect to the underlying prenup. That being said, also here in Thailand, there are different formalities that need to be maintained depending on what one's priorities are. Again, contact professionals first in order to figure out some information that's more specific to one's specific case. But a couple of things to think about just sort of generally with respect to prenups that people don't understand is, one thing is notably child support. This comes up a couple of times a year. I'll have people contact me to assist in the drafting of an American prenuptial agreement that's going to be signed by a Thai. And they almost invariably, they say, oh, I want child support, or I'd like to have provisions regarding child support to say X, Y, Z or ABC. And my immediate response is, don't say anything about child support, because the courts don't care about child support with respect to a prenuptial agreement, because one cannot contract issues pertaining to a third party to a contract without that party's consent. And a child under the age where they're legally able to form intent cannot even contract for those matters. Basically, the courts consider matters pertaining to the children of a marriage to be exclusively within the court's bailiwick, as the court is going to try to make a determination as to what's in the best interest of the child. The contract, if you will, the agreement between the two parties to the marriage, is largely irrelevant to that adjudication. So that's sort of one misconception that comes up with respect to prenuptial agreements. There are other formalities that get specific to specific jurisdictions. Again, in another video on this channel, we discuss prenuptial agreements specifically to when the marriage is registered here in Thailand. But just a couple of things, points to ponder. Another thing is, having a contract that's just, grossly, for lack of a better term, unfair to one party is going to be difficult. It's going to be problematic from the standpoint of later enforcement. Another issue is with respect to knowledge and understanding of the agreement at the time an individual signed the agreement. In another video on this channel, we specifically discussed the issue of translation in the context of the prenuptial agreement. These are all things that need to be thought about when thinking about a prenuptial agreement, and they need to be pondered. But the best piece of advice to be given, especially for a prenuptial agreement in a Thai-American context, is it's a very, very good idea to contact a firm such as ours that can provide both sides of the equation. Information and advice and counsel with respect to the American side of the agreement and the drafting thereof, as well as the same thing from the Thai side of the agreement to be provided by a Thai attorney who can provide legal counsel with regard to the specifics of the Thai issues there. So again, it's a good idea to keep these things in mind, and when dealing with them in the future, prenuptial agreements, they can actually be a very straightforward way of dealing, sort of front-loading issues associated with the finances and marital property within a given marriage. They can be a very, very good agreement for sort of setting everything out up front as to how things are going to be. But if people think that there's something like from the movies where you can basically like get an agreement that allow, you know, I don't even know what the right terminology is, but sort of an agreement that's just wholly in one party's favor, that's really the stuff of fiction. Prenuptial agreements are really designed to provide an equitable and transparent posture of each of the parties prior to marriage and subsequent to the registration of a marriage.